Emilio Aguinaldo, the first president of the Philippines. Emilio Fami Aguinaldo was born on March 22, 1869 in Cavite El Viejo, Cavite, Philippines. His parents, Carlos Aguinaldo and Trinidad Fami Aguinaldo, were a Tagalog Chinese mestizo couple. Together they had 8 children, of whom the 7th child was Emilio. Emilio attended school at Colegio de San Juan de Letran in Manila, Philippines, but he never got to finish his education due to a cholera outbreak. On January 1, 1895, Emilio became a Freemason and joined the Pillar Lodge chapter of the Freemasonry, a government and church banned resistance group. A Freemason is a member of an international order established for mutual help and fellowship, which holds elaborate secret ceremonies. As municipal captain of this fraternity, he met Andres Bonifacio, who played a significant role in the fight to overthrow Spanish rule. On March 7, 1895, General Santiago Alvarez encouraged Emilio to join the Katipunan, a secret organization led by Andres Bonifacio. The organization was dedicated to the expulsion of the Spanish and independence of the Philippines through armed forces. In the Philippines, the Katipunan is also known as the KKK, which is abbreviated from their motto, Kataas-taasang Kagalang-galangang Katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan, which means Supreme and Most Honorable Society of the Children of the Nation. The Philippine Revolution, led by the Katipunan, began in August 1896 when the Katipunan was discovered by the Spanish. The first major battle of the Philippine Revolution was the Battle of Imus against General Ernesto Aguirre in Imus, Cavite, Philippines. Beginning on September 1, 1896, the Filipinos had suffered 3 failed attacks on the Spanish. After regrouping and changing their tactics, 2 days later, at the Bridge of Isabel II, Aguinaldo had demolished the opposite side of the bridge where General Aguirre and his men had to pass through in order to reach town. Upon arrival at the bridge, they were ambushed by Aguinaldo and his men, hiding in nearby bushes. The Spanish were unable to flee because they were trapped on the bridge with no other way to go. A majority of the Spaniards were defeated and captured, including General Aguirre. Emilio had fought in several battles by the time he had been elected as president of the reorganized revolutionary government at the Tejeros Convention in February 1897. At this time, the Spaniards, who were humiliated by their defeat in their previous battles, marched to Perez das Marinas, Cavite, in an attempt to recapture the Cavite province from the Philippines. The Filipinos called for Emilio, but he refused to leave his post, so he sent his brother Crispulo to lead the troops in battle. The Battle of Perez das Marinas lasted over a month, but in the end, Crispulo was killed in battle and the Spanish won and recaptured Cavite. Over 10,000 Filipino soldiers and 20,000 civilians were killed, while only 3,000 Spaniards were lost. During the Tejeros Convention, Andres Bonifacio refused to believe that Emilio had won the election. He had also felt humiliated because he had been instead elected as Secretary of the Interior, one of the lowest positions in the government. Another member of government had also questioned Bonifacio's capability to hold this lowly position due to a lack of a university education. Angered by this and the change in government authority, Bonifacio held the man at gunpoint, but a bystander stepped in and restrained him from doing so. Aguinaldo then ordered Bonifacio's arrest along with his brother and had them both tried for treason and sedition. On December 14, 1897, Emilio signed the Pact of Biak-na-Bato, which established a truce between him and Spanish colonial Governor-General Fernando Primo de Rivera. Aguinaldo and his revolutionaries were pardoned and given 800,000 pesos by the Spanish government, in return for which the revolutionary government would go into exile in Hong Kong. 5 months later, on May 16, 1898, Emilio returned to the Philippines from Hong Kong aboard the USS McCulloch after the Spanish-American War began. On May 28, 1898, Aguinaldo gathered a force of about 18,000 troops and fought against Spanish troops in Alapan, Cavite, not far from his very first battle in Imus. After 5 hours of battle, the Filipinos won and Aguinaldo waved the Philippine flag for the first time. He lifted it at the Teatro Caviteño in Cavite Nuevo in front of Filipino revolutionaries and more than 300 captured Spanish troops. On June 12, 1898, Emilio finalized the Philippine Declaration of Independence, finally freeing themselves from Spanish rule. On January 21, 1899, the Philippine Republic was established with Emilio as the first president of the Philippines, but the United States refused to recognize Emilio's power over the Republic. A month later, the Philippine-American War began when a Filipino was shot by an American soldier, which then led to the Battle of Manila the following day. The Republic and Emilio's term both came to an end when he was captured by American forces on March 23, 1901 in Palanan, Isabela, Philippines. Emilio was 77 years old when the Philippines finally gained independence from the United States in the Treaty of Manila on July 4, 1946. Almost 20 years later, he died of coronary thrombosis at the age of 94 on February 6, 1964. Fun fact: Emilio Aguinaldo's portrait is printed on the 5-peso bill, but printing discontinued in 1996 and was replaced by the 5-peso coin.